I think what you're seeing, although there's a shortage of space, is many individuals, community leaders, commissioners, elected officials, law enforcement, all part of the fabric, if you will, the leadership, the community in the city of Bridgeport and beyond. We have with us so many, and many I'll introduce to speak, but as a result of not only yesterday's shootings, but shootings over the weekend in the city of Bridgeport, where an 18-year-old was a homicide victim. But I think most dramatically, and I don't mean one more than the other, but I think the drama, unfortunate, terrible, brazen incident yesterday brought people together even quicker yesterday afternoon. We had meetings, there were conversations with the governor, with state police, with court personnel, with city council members, with members of the Bridgeport Housing Authority, with, I'm missing someone here, with the leadership of the youth programs in the city of Bridgeport, all having a voice and a piece of things that we wanted to announce today. City council members emphatic about additional tools that they want to provide for our Bridgeport Police Department. But let me start in this order and just say a couple topics I'm going to touch on and then introduce individuals representing organizations. The city of Bridgeport, and I think anybody standing representing any community, any neighborhood, will not tolerate brazen acts of violence like we saw yesterday, whether they're near a courthouse, whether they're related to a prior a criminal act, whether they're isolated, whether they're alone. That is not what a civil society involves, and if there's some misconception about that, there is plenty of law enforcement. There'll be plenty of positive support for young people, but there's plenty of law enforcement that will answer that question clearly and emphatically. Some of them are here, the leadership of the Bridgeport Police Department and leadership of the State Police Department, and I dare say that other law enforcement that's not here is not looking the other way, but is working in partnership with these departments to send a clear message. That can happen at Bridgeport, it can happen in any city or town, and will not be tolerated. And I think I can speak for everyone on that. Now, having said that, we've had conversations yesterday, and I want to thank Governor Lamont. I want to thank the leadership and all the men and women who make up, wear uniforms as representative of the state of Connecticut, as state troopers and as court personnel. And the state troopers are here at our request, again, as they were in the past, to work hand in hand and in what has been described as not only an effective, but an appreciated partnership of law enforcement on the streets and in the neighborhoods of the city of Bridgeport, as they were in other cities over the summer. And where that partnership and the effectiveness of that, as I phrased it, sent a very positive chilling effect on individuals that may have been thinking about doing things. We've welcomed them back. They've never left, as we said, with Chup G's here. We welcome them as partners on the streets in our neighborhoods with our Bridgeport Police Department. And it is not going to be unnoticed. It has proven to be disruptive in a positive way for individuals that think that they can sidestep what are the laws of personal respect and safety and might want to create acts of violence. And so we've upped the ante, so to speak, in a positive way. We're sending a very positive message to law enforcement. So before I go any further, I want to ask the leadership, Lieutenant Colonel Montini, to come up. I want to welcome you and thank you, and as I know our chief wants to, and the people of the city of Bridgeport too, for being a part of this, not just here today, being part of all you do throughout the state of Connecticut, the city of Bridgeport, and law enforcement.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Ganim. Thank you, Chief Perez. These are unfortunate circumstances, but we are happy to be here to support you and to support the citizens, the residents here in the city of Bridgeport. As the mayor had said, the governor was in contact with the mayor yesterday, and he's very supportive in providing our support to the Bridgeport Police Department. The state police are here to work with our municipal partners and to work with the residents within the city of Bridgeport so that we can stop this violence and so that we can maintain order throughout these communities. Again, we're happy to be here. These are unfortunate circumstances, but we will do whatever we can to work cooperatively with our municipal partners. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
The partnership on that front is twofold. And Chief Perez and his department has demonstrated not only a serious commitment, but an increased and enhanced presence constantly, but actually even more so as a result of the weekend's events and yesterday's events. And I'm going to turn it over to the Chief and ask him, and I know we've talked about some things that you're doing. You can comment on that and the partnership in with the state troopers and with the courthouse. We greatly appreciate it. Sure. I'll step to the side, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank you, first of all, for your leadership. And I want to thank Commissioner Rowena. I've been in touch with him yesterday, today, and his commitment is unwavering to the good people of the city of Bridgeport. I want to thank my good friend,
Thank you, Chief.
Montini. Him and I work together in narcotics, and we know each other very well. I have a couple other officers here, a captain back here, and I have a deputy chief, and as well as Project Longevity. So I just want to say that we are committed to the city of Bridgeport. And like I said before yesterday, we're not going to tolerate this. We're not going to have this lawlessness going on in our city. We have increased patrols in all areas of the city, and particularly the Housing Authority, Green Homes. There's a 24-hour detail in Green Homes. Trumbull Gardens, you'll have roving details. Stratford Avenue, as well as roving details, and PT. PT has surfaced, and it's on the radar big time. And so we are going to make sure that this does not happen again. Our Detective Bureau is second to none. When I was the commander there, I very, very proud of the work that they do. And we have tremendous dedication to the good people of the city of Bridgeport. I have the captain of the Detective Bureau here today. You want to say a couple of words before I finish?
We can do a Q&A at the end.
You-
I know they're going to have questions for
Okay,
you, Captain.
no problem. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you,
Mr. Mayor.
Chief. We had a meeting yesterday led by members of the City Council, members of the department, and talked about things that we want to add as tools.
Let me say this. I want to thank the law enforcement, city council, but we can't do it alone. And we've got to take responsibility as people that live in the community to start standing up for their community. Because you all know we can't put a police on every corner in this city. We can't do it. But we can do it together. No one has mentioned that these young people, 13, 14, 15, know the law better than we do. And when the law was changed in Hartford, it hampered police officers from doing their business. That you've got 14 and 13-year-olds telling police, there's nothing you can do to us. We'll be right back out on the street. And it has happened. With our curfew, and I mentioned it to the president, maybe we need to amend it to have these kids do community service so they can understand they are a part of our community. So I hope that the city of Bridgeport, our communities get involved because we cannot do it by ourselves. And I needless to say that these are our family members. These are our cousins, our nephews, our nieces, our brothers, and we turn a blind ear to it. So we're going to do everything we can, but we need your help. Because Dr. King put it this way, for evil to prevail, it's for good men and women to do nothing. Thank you.
Lastly, thank you. Lastly, I want to thank all that are here, and I see so many people here that represent support entities and youth programs and Project Longevity, and I want to build a partnership more and more. And there's so many that could speak about the challenges. We talked about some of the things we're going to do, the presence of the state troopers. I will say the partnership and with the Bridgeport Police Department, the ordinance all law enforcement techniques, obviously, and tools. But on a positive note, one of the biggest challenges that urban centers like Bridgeport has that are never flush with funds is where can we, with the 99.9% of young people that are just trying to have the support that they want and need, how can we do more for young people and youth services? Aaron Gaston, who's Deputy CAO in the city of Bridgeport, came into and was appointed by me recently because of his passion for youth, because of his outreach in the community and some of the programs he had shown and shined through our Lighthouse program. And he came and asked if he could head up youth programs and youth opportunities and fight for youth resources. And as we move forward today, I want to make sure that publicly that was known in partnership with all of our departments, with Tammy's department, which is with the Lighthouse program, the entities that are out there now, how to not only make sure that they have the support that they need, but to enhance the resources and opportunities for them, and in partnership with the Board of Ed too. I don't know if you want to say a couple words about that. I don't want to leave it at, certainly we have challenges, we're young people, and we're very emphatic about what has to be happening when you break the law and when you do it with a reckless disregard for human life, whether it's retaliation or whatever. But we also want to send a positive message out to those same parents that we want to support the curfew, to say to them that we want to create more opportunities. I could see Nate over there waving. And we put a lot out there. This is really a community coming together as comprehensively as we can from all different angles, if you will. On the law enforcement side, what you've seen and what you've heard and what we experienced yesterday will not be tolerated, clearly. There's a strong show of law enforcement. But at the same time, there's a clear, comprehensive message to young people as well. We don't want you out in harm's way. The curfew was meant as a way to save lives, as you said, Heidi. So it's a tool to use by law enforcement to save lives, and that's why we're here. Not only do we want to save lives, we want to enhance young people. We want to create the opportunities for them in this great city, and we've all come together to do that. I want to thank all the partners that are here, and certainly I'll take some questions. Again, the Housing Authority, I barely recognized our executive director here, your commissioners, our new president, Betty Cook, who I think is still with us, for her taking on a leadership role, and all that we need to do there, and the actions you're taking. Our state troopers, who on a minute's notice were there, our police department, your quick responses, your quick apprehensions, and certainly your measures of prevention and community policing. Our city council for saying we need to as elected officials push and do stuff and move forward with our enhancement, if you will, of enforcement of an existing ordinance for curfew and the youth initiatives. Dr. Gaston.
Sure. So as to the condition of the 4 males that were shot yesterday, as of now, they're all going to survive. 2 sustained minor injuries, grazing wounds from gunshots. They were discharged from the hospital yesterday. 2 additional males underwent surgery yesterday, but are expected to survive. 1 has serious injuries and will remain in intensive care for some time, it's our understanding, but as I said, all will survive. As to the charges, we did take 3 into custody yesterday on charges unrelated to the shooting. Those persons bonded out last night. They continue to be persons of interest in the shooting, and as the investigation progresses, we'll have more details on that.
Thank you very much. Again, all that are here, either with us, standing here, or around the room, that continue to provide support, leadership to the Bridgeport community. Thank you so much. We're good?
Thank you.
Sport Bar Café, el mejor ambiente de Bridgeport, Connecticut, presenta Jueves de Karaoke y Happy Hour.
Estoy enamorado de una mala.
Viernes de Ladies Night, donde las damas entran gratis la noche entera.
¡Qué chévere!
Sábado de Fusion Day. Y los domingos son de rumba, con especial toda la noche. Además, todos los días mezclando en vivo los DJ más duros, con los mejores especiales en bebidas y aperitivos. Muévete al lugar donde se vive la noche. Evolution Sport Bar Café, 1279 North Avenue, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Reservas al 203-908-1588. Evolution Sport Bar Café, el mejor ambiente.